If you're running a business with operations, setup, this, that, and your margins are only 20%, a business has got to make their 20%. So meaning whatever Dana and those guys have done has worked, and it's made a lot of people rich. Can they improve in certain ways? If they could, what would you say would be a way they could improve it? Jake made his proposal saying take the 12,000 to 50,000, health benefits, et cetera, et cetera. What would you say as a UFC Hall of Famer?
Yeah, I mean, health benefits would be one, but I mean, I would also say, some kind of portion of the money for the retirement. You know what I'm saying? For fighters who are done fighting.
Some sort of 401k, IRA, profit sharing plan.
Okay, so say for instance this, if I'm a fighter and I get paid for a pay-per-view, I should get paid anytime that fight is being shown, even after I'm retired. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that could make it better. Like for instance, like anytime they show a Rashad Evans fight, I should be.
Is that how it is in boxing? Does boxing do that or?
No, I don't
Okay.
think boxing does it like that. But I'm saying that's something that could help. That's something that could help out because they're still getting money to pay. Like the UFC is getting money to to
license it to another place.
Yeah,
so they're making some money on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they're making money on it.
Yeah.
So if they're making money on showing a Rashad Evans fight, then Rashad Evans should get paid off of it. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm not fighting a current fighter in the UFC.
When I was in LA, I was handling finances for a few NFL players, and they would all complain about retirement. And I would say, hey, they don't pay this, they don't pay that, they don't pay enough, right? But at the same time, it was, hey, I always watch how you take care of your champions, okay? You can't take care of everybody, but how you take care of your champions. For example, like how people can say whatever they want to say about Mark Cuban and who he is. He takes care of his best guys. Look at Dirk. He's been taken care of for 20 years. Dirk's like, I can go a lot of different places. I love my boss. I'll work over here. The guy gives me what he wants, so he takes care of him, right? Do you think UFC takes care of their champions? Like, not everybody, because I can see how that can be watered down and this guy saying, give me this, and that guy saying, give me this. But there is a system for guys who were champions, right? Do they do that? Is there benefits for you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if I call Dana and ask him for anything, he'd be like, yeah, absolutely.
He seems like that type of guy.
He's that guy. Dana's he has a kind of persona out, when you see him on camera, but, Dana's one of the coolest guys you ever meet, and he's straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may not like what he says, but you're gonna know that he's speaking from the heart. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna know where you stand with him, and I can always handle that. You know what I'm saying? I don't always gotta like what somebody say, but if they're kind of shooting straight from the hips, then I can accept that. And Dana's one of those guys. So he does take care of his champions. He makes sure that he does whatever he can. He's one of those guys who does things and doesn't say anything about it. Like people don't really know how generous Dana is and the things that he do because he's not one of those guys say, oh, I did this, and he doesn't brag about it at all. He just does it.
So would you say behind closed, like Francis said the other day, he had a private meeting with Dana, and he said what a great conversation he had with him. Like he was very positive about the conversation. Would you say behind closed doors, champions love Dana and have a great relationship with Dana?
Absolutely.
Okay, I think that's I think that right there finishes the conversation, if you ask me.
Is Dana White the greatest commissioner in the history of sports? You've had David Stern in the NBA, Paul Tagliabue NFL, Goodell, Bud Selig.
Would you count Vince McMahon in that?
Vince McMahon, okay, but is Dana White
that
up
would
there?
be probably on the promoter side. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be.
Is he?
I would say he's definitely up there. When it comes to just being the guy who's able to relate on so many different levels. That's what Dana does. Dana can come at you from a different perspective, and he can understand where you're coming from. And he doesn't big time you. And that's a huge thing because sometimes when you don't have the same value that they can get out of you, people have the tendency to kind of dismiss you. But Dana doesn't do that, and that's one thing that I can say that stands high in his in his character and who he is as a person, because he always makes sure to he'll return a text. No matter how busy he is, he'll return a text, he'll return a call. So he's one of those guys.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.